Hello, welcome, 7:32. We are here for your after show. And all everybody's talking about today, of course, is we're finally seeing the monsoon sparking up. It's decided to just concentrate on just one day.
Yeah, which is so funny, all at once.
Talk about catching up in a hurry. You know, you can't, we're in the midst of monsoon. We still have, what's the date today? The 23rd. We still have we have a week left, right?
A week left.
But technically, this is not your run-of-the-mill monsoon setup.
Why is that?
This is not what we typically expect from a monsoon storm. This is actually a low-pressure system, like we talk about, like on the big picture, right? Where you see this storm system dropping out of the Pacific and trucking eastward across the United States, right?
Yeah.
So you've got that dropping down, and then you have it drawing upon tropical moisture from the remnants of the hurricanes that were in the eastern Pacific. That's where it's getting pumped up with fuel, like gasoline, right? Yeah. So it's not your typical high pressure sitting over the four corners, drawing in, with help from the thermal low over you. It's not your typical monsoon setup. It just happens that we're wringing out all this rain while we're still technically under monsoon. So not to make it confusing for everyone.
But you wouldn't even call this a monsoon storm then?
But this isn't technically your typical monsoon setup.
Interesting.
But we're in monsoon, so I guess it's debatable.
Still counts.
We are looking at some severe flooding. You're looking at pictures from Apache Junction right now where some homes are completely flooded out, roads completely flooded as well. We've seen a few cars already stuck. We know, you guys, the best way to deal with this flooding. Number one, just stay indoors. Number two, don't drive through anything. Even if you think it's just an inch, whatever it is, it can flood out your car so quickly. Take a look at some of this. Wow. How much rain hit, Crystal?
So some rain gauges, so we look at many different rain gauges and observation stations, some coming from the flood control districts, some from different National Weather Service sites. So just pinpointing some highlights in the Apache Junction area, more than 3 inches in some spots there.
You're kidding me, more than 3 inches?
And in Mesa, some spots more than 2, but then you have some that are maybe just a half of an inch. So it really depends on exactly, it's so selective. One neighborhood could get slammed and the other one is like, man, I still need to leave on my sprinklers.
Right.
Especially the West Valley, not really the favorite spot this morning for the rain. It was all just drench. The East Valley is just what's really drenched today.
And you were telling us it was probably going to be like waves of this throughout the day.
Yeah, we're not done.
So what we see on the radar right now is beginning to lift to the north and east, but Mother Nature has much more oomph up her sleeve. We're going to cook up additional showers and storms throughout the day. The potential is there. So while it looks can be kind of deceiving, right? What we see right now on the radar is beginning to lift.
Right.
Thankfully, giving us a nice little brief respite. So at least some of the gutters can do their job.
Yeah, get a chance to drain out.
Yeah, and drain it out. But what you don't see is some more showers and storms will erupt throughout the day as we continue to get lift in our atmosphere, and our atmosphere continues to sop up more moisture and wring it out like a rag. And
all that lightning we saw. A lot of lightning strikes.
Lots of lightning, gusty winds. Hail is even a potential with more robust storms, perhaps even a tornado threat in Arizona today. We have a severe weather alert throughout the state from the Storm Prediction Center, where there is that chance for some severe storms, possibly a tornado. So
we're in our 12 News tracker.
Yeah, we've got our photographer Garrett, and he's heading toward the Fountain Hills area. So this is kind of what he's seeing as he's driving around, and you can see.
He's stopping at QT to get a treat.
I don't blame him.
I mean,
it's going to be a long morning.
Yeah, it's going to be a long morning.
You got to fuel, get a little coffee. That's okay.
When we look at how much fell over in Apache Junction and all of that flooding that they're dealing with right now, how quickly did those 3 inches dump?
Oh, in a matter of, I'm trying to think when I came in or when I was starting to watch the radar, when it really started tallying up around, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, just a matter of a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And that's where that flooding
That's a lot. Yeah, for sure. And it's been tough out there on the roadways. I know you were talking about the 202. That's kind of a common hot spot.
60 flooding.
60.
In between Val Vista and Greenfield. It looked like it was getting a little bit better because you're right, we are getting a bit of a break right now. But during the early morning commute, we did see a lot of flooding out there on the 60 in that spot. You guys know that spot between Val Vista and Greenfield where it always puddles. But the fact that we're not done, especially when you look at this over in Apache Junction. Sky 12 flying up over there this morning. We've seen a number of cars already flooded out, which is just horrible.
6 inches can render your vehicle useless. It can stall out your car, and then a foot can actually float your vehicle. It's just not a good idea. And if you do happen to get stuck, which I hope that never becomes the case. Make sure you have the windows down and your seatbelts off so that you can climb out the window should the worst take over.
So we're going to get another hit of storms as the next couple of hours. Do you think that it will hit Apache Junction again, who's already inundated with all that water?
It's fair game. Did you notice, on the radar how these storms are so, they could be a matter of a few miles wide, right? It's very hard to pinpoint exactly where these showers and storms might flare up later, but it's just like a boiling pot of water where we could just see these bubbles pop up throughout the day. Let's take a little bit of a wider zoom here where you could see there's actually, look at that stretch of rain at the moment, stretching from the valley all the way to the border to the east of Holbrook. As good soaking for Show Low right now.
And we've been saying that we need the rain, obviously. We're not in a critical situation, but we definitely need the rain, but we just didn't need it all in like a 2-hour period.
Exactly. It's like too much all at once. You can't have too much of a good thing, as I always say. And, we've been so bone dry.
Right.
We were at the moment the third driest monsoon to date for Phoenix. Flagstaff is looking at its driest. Oh my goodness.
It's
the ground is parched, right? So even all that moisture, it's got to go somewhere. It doesn't have enough chance to soak through the ground. So this is the result.
Which is horrible. It's horrible because you look at that and you're like, oh my gosh, thank goodness for all this rain. But because we're so parched, you don't even get to enjoy it.
No, definitely not for these folks out there. There's just nowhere for it to go when it gets this saturated this quickly.
Look at that, a rescue right now. Isn't that a fire truck right there?
Yeah.
So we already have rescue crews who are out there trying to help people who are stuck in these floodwaters. Again, this is over only really near Apache Junction is where we're seeing conditions like this. It looks like Mesa's finally getting a bit of a break after a lot of rain came down. Again, in this area, Crystal, you said about 3 inches?
Yeah, one particular rain gauge that I was watching kind of in the center of town, 3 inches. Of course, some reporting more, some reporting less. That's just kind of like the middle range I was looking at. And, plus if you on the mountain tops getting even heavier rain, that funneling down its channels, adding up into all these spots. We have a flash flood warning, very evident why, makes sense why we would have one in that area, but we actually have a handful of flash flood warnings, which also include the East Valley, where we saw some flooding on the roadways too, not as severe as this, but that is our primary threat today. More than 5 million Arizonans are up against a flash flood watch. And then when something like this happens, you'll hear us sounding the alarms that it's a warning.
So what's kind of our timeline for today? And then when we get past this and going through the rest of the week, when we start to see cooler temperature and more storms?
Yes, we still do. Whenever you guys want to throw back up the graphics, I think I have an hour by hour I can
I would love to see that.
So that you guys can kind of just
look
at one model's guidance at how the day may shake out. Oh, it looks like we have some emergency crews.
This is over in Apache Junction as well.
Junction
Yeah, we have one of our photographers who just set up shop over there. Look at that, you guys.
So there's the flash flood watch and the warnings that are posted scattered all over. It looks like a bunch of pieces of the puzzle just all over the valley, mainly the East Valley and to the north and east. Oh, here's some of those rainfall totals really quick. So just over 3 inches in Apache Junction, about 2.5 in Mesa.
What am I going to go home to when I get to Mesa?
Jeez. Exactly. Gilbert, more than an inch, more than a half for the Scottsdale Tempe area. And with all of that, Sky Harbor,
they
0.07.
do say someone's stuck in the red one?
Yeah, in the red.
Someone's still stuck in there.
It looked like it.
Oh gosh, how frightening.
Yeah, and there was another vehicle too where it looked like someone was stuck in a white vehicle on another earlier image. So there may be more than one scenario where we've got vehicles stuck. Emergency
that's halfway up their door.
I know. Right, oh gosh, and it's just the water is not stopping. This is what's so scary in these situations is that rescue crews didn't have time to set out cones like don't go through this, flooded pass. It's just on the driver, on the person to look and think, okay, I shouldn't, even if this looks little right now, maybe further down the road, it's not going to be so little.
And it's so hard to tell when you're driving. And you're looking at the water because you really don't know where the high point is in the road. That's kind of sometimes what some of us try to use as a gauge to try to figure out, can you make it through or not, especially if you're in an SUV. It looks like she's, trying to get through there, but
and listen, that's when you're driving in the morning, you have places to go. So you just think, okay, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to move.
Okay,
but
she's not moving. I think she's trying to inch a little bit.
Yeah, it does look like that, doesn't it?
You also don't know it's not just the water. You don't know what's in the water, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of debris.
Nothing good.
No. And look at that all funneling.
Oh, and all that.
Thank goodness rescue crews are there.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just such a tough situation because it does come up really quickly on people. And I know everyone always says, well, why are they going through it but until you're in that situation, you never really know. It does come up quickly on you.
It really does, especially in this area in just a couple of hours to get almost 3 inches of rain. My goodness, with how quiet the monsoon has been, this is the last thing that people expected.
So the most rainfall we've had, of course, this is all going off of Phoenix Sky Harbor.
Yes, rain gauges.
Rain gauges. The most we had was on February 21st, and it was 1.01 inches.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
So in a matter of hours,
bit.
and then for our years total, you know, we are so behind on that. And we've probably many locations this morning have had more rainfall in a matter of hours than we've seen all year officially at Phoenix Sky Harbor. So our major threat today is flash flooding. That takes the top spot. Then damaging winds, large hail is a possibility.
Okay.
And there's even a threat for an isolated tornado somewhere in our state if we get a storm that is feisty enough that has that rotation to it that would whip up a tornado. So we just have to have our ears perked. The potential is there. So here's our hour by hour chances. This is just one particular model's guidance. You know, it's just, you can't take it as gospel, but it's good guidance that, hey, we might have another round of some widespread showers and storms at about 10 o'clock. Oh, wow. The action's still going at lunchtime. So hopefully you can, you know, make the PB&J and have a sack lunch, especially, you know.
Rather than head out.
Exactly. Instead of, you know, call or even ordering pizza, you know, spare the poor pizza delivery boy.
Yes.
Because it could be really messy at lunchtime. And even on your ride home in the evening, we could still be dealing with some last minute showers and storms. Look at it as it picks up at 8 o'clock. I mean, at any hour is fair game because you see the nature of these storms. You know, Mesa could be getting hit while Glendale doesn't get anything. So it just depends on where you find yourself throughout the day. That's why you definitely want to have the umbrella handy. You definitely want to have a plan B too. If you come across some flooded roadways, give yourself some more time. And we'll take this right back to the radar here so you could see what's up at the here and now. The West Valley just been getting in on some hit and miss light showers this morning. Nothing adding up to any sort of extreme like we're seeing in the East Valley. Still flash flood warnings taking hold from Tempe, Chandler, Gilbert, all the way over.
You see that cell just sitting on Fountain Hills right now.
That's exactly the problem.
It's sitting.
When it just sits there.
Yeah. You don't get a chance for a break.
Nope, it just keeps ringing out the rain, and lots of lightning in that area too. So
there's another live picture, going back to that area. I mean, you could just see that car stuck there, trying to figure out how the rescue crews are going to get to them.
Because there are people trapped inside.
Yeah. There's our live shot right now. This is from Fountain Hills, where our photographer's been heading to that area as well. And you see the rain is much heavier now. You see those windshield wipers really getting the workout this morning as he's heading out there. And that's what's been so tough, Crystal, is that a lot of this rain is coming down during the morning rush, and then it looks like we're not going to get a break during the evening rush either.
No, it's like terrible timing.
It came at the worst time.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this now.
Yeah, they're going to try to bring the ladder out.
Wow. Okay, so in this situation, you even brought this up, Crystal, you need to be able to have your windows rolled down.
Yes. Seatbelt undone. Take your seatbelt off, windows down, so that you can climb out if you need to.
It's just so tough because when you're in this situation, like you were saying, when that amount of water gets into your car, and we all depend on these, you know, those fancy electric circuits that we have in our cars, that's everything that shuts down.
Oh, you're right.
When you're trapped. So that's why you always hear people saying they're not able to get out of their car. They're not able to roll down the windows.
Right.
And you see a lot of those emergency kits that have the glass break.
Yeah.
Break it.
Sometimes that's their only option. You know, in some situations, you'll see that front of the car just kind of tip forward, and then people end up having to come out through the back. But you're kind of stuck in a situation because we're so dependent on everything electric that keeps our cars running.
That's such a good point. I didn't even think about that, but you're right. When you get flooded
you're
out,
stuck. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Other than break glass and be taken out the old-fashioned way, really.
Let's just hope there's no kids in there as the rescue is happening right now. Again, this is over in Apache Junction, where Crystal was telling us about 3 inches of rain fell in just a matter of hours, and we are seeing so many flooded roads. This is actually just one of a few cars that we've seen stuck, but this is one of the rescues that's going on right now. Thank goodness that crews are there trying to get this person out.
They're going to climb right out onto the roof here.
Yeah.
Flash flooding is the top storm killer, and the majority of those happening in vehicles. So such a risky situation. Not only do you put yourself in danger when you decide to give it a go and go across, but also all the emergency crews. They wouldn't stand a chance trying to even walk across that. Look at how that's
that
flowing.
water is rushing so quickly. You can't even stand with that kind of flow walking against that grain. Can you imagine? They're stepping out right now.
I think this was just from a couple inches
reaching
of rain.
down.
and something like this happened.
Let's see if they're able to, I don't know if they're trying to break that glass or
it could even
how they're going to try to pry it open.
Yeah, the car could start floating.
But they were, you can see the windows open on the driver's side. I'm like trying to peer in a little bit closer here to see, and you can now, they've given him a jacket.
Oh, there they go.
You see the reflective fire jacket they've given the driver there.
I hope there's no kids in there.
Oh man.
As they're trying to get kind of covered up and figure out how they're going to get this driver out. Look how long the ladder is extended.
I know.
From
That
the
makes it
fire
even
truck back
scarier,
there.
doesn't it?
It's unbelievable.
That water is just rushing.
Yeah, it's incredible power in that water right there. Here comes.
And it was Apache Junction that got hit the hardest.
Yes, that area, absolutely. We first started with a flash flood warning over the Tortilla Flat area, Saguaro Lake, Canyon Lake, and then we continued to see that showers and storms really flare up in that area and really put out all of that rain so quickly.
Oh, so it looks like a lady who's there driving now, and the rescue worker. Now we just lost our picture. The rescue worker was kind of looking like he was climbing into the car, maybe to assist her. I don't know if there's something preventing her from getting herself out.
That are in there, yes, or maybe they're trying to grab that. All right. We're going to go back to that as soon as we get the shot back up. But this is some street flooding that's happening right now in Fountain Hills.
Look at how much water is coming up.
Look at that.
Yes. The system that was in Mesa has now moved its way up north and is hitting Fountain Hills pretty hard right now.
There's a couple sections you can barely see that white line through because of the water that's covering the roadway there. And if you see the vehicles coming the opposite direction, just how much
we've been driving through that.
It's like parting the sea.
Yeah.
Look at it shooting up on each side.
It's a lot. That's a lot of water there on the roads.
Golly.
I mean, think, it's just any given Monday, you're going to work, going to school, and then you're up against major road blocks, flooded roads, so the potential for severe weather out there. There was lots of lightning earlier in the Northeast Valley, some strong winds out of those storms jostling about the vehicles driving. It's, we've maybe been letting our guard down, so to speak, because our monsoon's been so lackluster.
We've been joking about it was the monsoon, exactly, for so long, and then it's just incredible when you get it all in one day, in one morning.
That's exactly the characteristic of monsoon. If you've lived here long enough, you could just really it really just takes one event like that to define that season.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like this is going to be the morning that we're going to talk about that will define the 2019 season. You said that coming in this morning, too, that this will probably be the biggest storm of the season.
Exactly. The biggest storm of the year, I would say.
And it's not over yet. That's the scary part, everyone. So you think this is bad. We still have another round that's making its way in. You have that hour-by-hour graphic. Will that be posted somewhere for people who want to check that out?
We do. It's ever-changing. Every hour it gets tweaked a little bit. It's one particular model. I can scroll through some of this here once again. And you can't take this radar at face value. This isn't all Mother Nature has up her sleeve is what you see on the radar right here. There's things that are going to show up later that you can't see right now. So you just have to know that they will flare up later.
Yet.
Yeah, it's not like we're watching one thing move.
It's not a band per se.
Right. We will be keeping our eye to this radar to see additional showers and storms flare up, erupt throughout the day, and that's why we have more than 5 million Arizonans under that flash flood watch. Just a roundup of some of those storm totals: Apache Junction over 3 inches, Mesa over 2.5, and those main storm threats being flash flooding, damaging wind, large hail, and also an isolated tornado possible in the state. So here's again that hour by hour. At the moment, this could change, but right now this is how we think the rest of the day is going to shake out. So we have some isolated storms that might make their way through. These are additional storms, not the current ones on radar. And then maybe it becomes more widespread again at around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock into the lunchtime hour. Definitely not going to be enjoying lunch al fresco. Keep it indoors. Hopefully you could bring a sack lunch with you. We'll continue to see scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon. You may even be flicking on those windshield wipers on your ride home.
But if we want to talk about the positive side to all of this, it really drives down the temperatures.
Oh, yes. I have a featured forecast high of 89 today.
Wow.
And that continues, right?
And the rest of the week.
I've got half of the 7-day covered with
Let's
highs.
look at that, shall we?
And even the ones that aren't, it's like 90, 91, 92. So that's going to be a real big benefit. Of course, today that upped humidity may not feel so crisp and cool like you may think.
I think we're back to our rescue here.
Okay.
Let's see what kind of progress they've been able to make.
Stretched out still.
Yeah, we still have them out there. We'll see if he was able to reach anybody and pull
anybody out. Oh, it looks like they're pulling someone.
Yeah, it looks like they're pulling away now. So let's see if we have any additional people in the basket there as these fire crews are rescuing. They ended up getting the driver out. It was just the one driver, correct? No other passengers that we could tell from inside? It looks like just the one driver that was out there. So yeah, they put her emergency gear on. You can tell she's also got her hard hat on, and they've pulled her out. But how frightening to be in that situation. And she's lucky that actually they were able to get to her, because in some of these situations, it's very hard to rescue these drivers who are stranded. But they stretched out that rescue ladder as far as you can see it went, and fortunately able to pull her out through the passenger side and get her into that basket and get her safe to some dry ground, which is quite a bit away.
And hard to find over in Apache Junction. We got 3 inches of rain. And again, it's expected even more later on today, everyone. So you know what? If you don't have to go out driving in Apache Junction, might be smart to just stay indoors.
Yeah,
Keep everything indoors today.
Definitely one of those days you just want to relax, stay indoors. I mean, obviously school is in session and people have to come to work, but you got to really kind of think about your travel.
Yeah, be ready for more and download the free 12 News app. Hopefully you're watching us right now on it, but it will help keep you ahead of any new storms that erupt or any traffic troubles along the way.
All right, stay with us right here on 12 all day long. We will have everything covered for you when it comes to this storm. We'll see you in a couple minutes on 12 News for another update from you, right, Crystal?
That's right.
All right, see you then.